same old tune, fiddle and guitar. Where do we take it from here? Rhinestone suits and new shiny cars. It's been the same way for years.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, February 26, 2013. I am Jay-Z, and this is Flashpoint Radio. Thank you for joining me, and as you saw, this edition of Flashpoint Radio is a government versus you edition. Original intentions were to put together a list of ways the government is above the law and you are not. Ways the government has extra help and you do not. In my research today, I found that there's just too many examples, so I'm going to have to break this down into a few multiple episodes to keep the information short and concise and not lose your attention span. So, this was the first item, the first comparison I wanted to make, and boy, did I find a lot of examples. And we like to call this Hello Kitty versus Darth Vader. Let's start with the you. Why don't you? Because you know what? The government loves you, and they think you're number one. I found way too many articles, way too many examples of both of these sides of this this comparison. So do your own search if you want to find some more. But these are all different stories. Different stories. I know it sounds crazy, and I don't even have time to touch on the stories, so I'm going to basically run through the headlines. From CNN, this is this year. January 22nd, Pennsylvania girl 5 suspended for talk of shooting a Hello Kitty bubble gun. Yes, this is a gun that shoots soap bubbles. Suspended. 5-year-old girl suspended. ABC News. February 1st of this year, daycare boy threatened with suspension for Lego toy gun. After he was suspended from his school's aftercare program after he made a gun of Lego pieces and pointed it at the other students. Wow. Wow. Moving along. Colorado. 6-year-old boy suspended for toy gun at school. And this story, unlike many of these stories, actually showed a picture of the gun. And that gun you're seeing, that's it. Yeah, it's a Nerf gun, I believe. And nowhere in the article, in the copy that's speaking in these videos, in the copy on this, does it say it's a Nerf gun. It says toy gun, so people automatically think black airsoft with the orange label or orange tip painted over. No. How about, Missouri. Man, there's a lot of these out of Missouri. NewsTribune.com. 3rd grader suspended over toy gun on fob. Wow. And that's a picture of what he got suspended for. That could do a lot of harm. Where are we at now? Ocala, Florida. A 2nd grader has been suspended and ordered to undergo a mental health evaluation because school officials said he brought a toy gun to school. A psych eval. From Infowars.com. Pastor plans buyback program for toy guns. And go figure, this comes out of St. Louis too. Pastor Rodney Francis of the Washington Tabernacle Baptist Church told KMOX 1120, "We want to engage the culture of violence, and one of the strategies that we thought we might be able to use is to educate parents the dangers about allowing kids to continue this access to toy guns and playing with toy guns. Thank you so much for protecting us." Also, Infowars, 10-year-old arrested for toy gun, has probation officer, lawyers, and a 2nd court date. Yes, they are prosecuting this person for bringing a orange-tipped plastic gun. Moving along, Columbia, South Carolina, 6-year-old expelled for bringing plastic gun to school. It was a transparent plastic gun, and that's your cute little girl that got suspended. New York Post, cops locked down Bronx Elementary School after gun rumors sparked by talk about toy. 2 kids were talking about playing with a Nerf gun after school, was never on school property. Yes, they locked down the elementary school and called in the SWAT team. Infowars, elementary school girl threatened with arrest over paper gun. She brought a paper gun. A paper gun. MSN.com. Arizona high school students suspended over gun picture. A picture of a gun. A picture. Now, I know we have the 3D printers and we can now print our own magazines. Link below. Yes, a printable AR-30 magazine. Link below. But a picture. Suspended. And finally, another one out of Missouri. Oh, go figure, another Nerf gun. Kindergartner suspended 10 days for Nerf toy gun. A 5-year-old who brought a bright yellow, green, and purple toy gun that shoots sponge bullets was suspended 10 days from Duchesne Elementary School, which is less than 3 miles from my house. I grew up here. I knew people that went to that school. Aren't we so glad what we've become? So that's our examples of what we can do, or, well, as a matter of factly, what we can't do, what the government will not let us do, and namely our children. And obviously, if you want to talk about the adults, we've already gone over it ad nauseum. They want us to not have the ability to find semi-automatic rifles of all kinds, and handguns and shotguns, it doesn't matter, semi-auto. But let's go to the government, why don't we? We're going to start with just some pictures, just to show you the comparisons. This picture was from the Clackamas Town Center after that mall shooting, where the shooter took his life when he saw an armed citizen getting ready to attack him. This is the police in full camouflage, because they're going to blend into that Sears really well with that woodland camo. If you got it, flaunt it. Concussion grenades, rubber bullets, pepper spray, tear gas, snowplows, horses, and dump trucks. Republican National Convention, St. Paul, August 2008. And remember, most of this started before Obama. How about this picture? Yeah, there's just a couple from this one website. And yeah, this picture out in California, spraying mace into a line of peaceful protesters standing there. This guy is famous. And I've got links to all these pictures, at least to websites where I found them. I'm not sure. I don't own any of them. I'm not sure if they do or not. How about this article from this blog by Trey Garrison, Stimulating the Militarization of North Texas Police. Frisco wants $125,000 for an armored vehicle and $200,000 for a mobile command vehicle. McKinney wants $5 million for SWAT toys. North Richland Hills wants $51,000 for volunteer patrol. Volunteers. Biometric scanners, digital cameras. Wow, that's at the U.S. Conference of Mayors what police are asking for from basically us and the taxpayers in cities that can afford it, because obviously they probably can't. How about these guys? That guy likes his job. He's got his tear gas gun. He's ready to go. He's ready to whoop somebody down. We got vehicles. Look at that armored vehicle. That looks like it has an LRAD on top, which is a high audible emitting device, which tear you apart. How about these 4 pictures? They look great, awesome. I love our police. And another picture of a documented LRAD used in Pittsburgh. And you can see these people in the background that are getting affected by this. Yeah, they look very dangerous. They look like they're causing a big, big threat. And let's look at some articles since we went through some pictures. And you can read some more. Obviously, as always, links are posted below from theexaminer.com. Department of Homeland Security buying 7,000 full auto assault rifles. There was a purchase order out there for 7,000 full auto assault rifles, which the department is referring to, quote, as personal defense weapons. A semi-automatic rifle in the hands of you is a crime and is a danger to everyone. A fully automatic assault rifle in the hands of Darth Vader is a personal defense weapon. You see how that works? And after all these pictures, this is back in 2011, the New York Sunday Times had the gall to ask when the police go military. But this gentleman actually wrote a good article, and he basically breaks down the traditional difference between the police and the military. He quotes Walter McNeil of Quincy, Florida. The police, who are supposed to maintain the peace, are the citizens, and the citizens are the police. Quote, that was Chief Walter A. McNeil of Quincy, Florida. The citizens are the police, and the police are the citizens. Soldiers, after all, go to war to destroy and kill the enemy. So when you start dressing your police like soldiers, they may start to do things like soldiers. This from the Business Insider. This is how they're getting it. The Pentagon is offering free military hardware to every police department in the U.S. This is from 2011. 1033 program gave more than $500 million of military gear to police forces in 2011 alone. So that sequester that they're warning you is going to bring terrorist attacks over how much millions of dollars of cuts to the defense budget. The federal government gave $500 million in 1 year. To different police forces around this country. From the Daily, these are good pictures. Good pictures here. The Daily put together a very good collection. Pentagon project lets police forces, even in small towns, arm themselves with military gear. An article going over that same 1033 program. And you ask, why are they doing this? Is it because the federal government is giving them money? Is it because, Al-Qaeda's real and they are hiding underneath potholes and in the backpacks of children at school, elementary schools, that is? Or is it possibly this? From 2008, we have to go back quite a ways, but Massachusetts police get black uniforms to instill sense of fear. Springfield, Massachusetts. This comes from the police commissioner, William Fittich. I don't know if he's still the police commissioner. Members of the department's street crime unit will again don black military-style uniforms as part of his strategy to deal with youth violence. Delaney, who is a sergeant in that same department, said a sense of fear has been missing for the past few years. Yes, they do all of these things so you fear them. It's all surrounding this theory of costumes I have, which I'll break down on a future date, but they get us to trust costumes, not the people wearing the costumes, but the costumes, i.e. police uniform, and then they just change the costume and get us to believe that, he's a police officer, his costume changed, but he's still a good guy. Still Barney Fife. No, it's not Barney Fife. That's an Iraq war veteran who was taken advantage of and pumped full of, pharmaceuticals and experimental vaccines and sent back to Afghanistan to do some pretty horrible things, or at least see pretty horrible things. And they come back there for 4 tours of duties in 6 years, and they can't get a job anywhere else, so they become a cop. And to get them to do their job and to follow orders, they have to make them feel like it's the military. And that's just one way they do it and one reason they do it. Other reasons, they're out there. But this is happening, people. The government versus you. The government versus you. Fear versus freedom. Hello Kitty versus Darth Vader. That's all the time we have for Flashpoint Radio this evening. I thank you for joining me. Remember, follow me on Facebook, Twitter. Check out tyrannywatch.com. Check out We Are Change St. Louis on Facebook. Infowars.com. Naturalnews.com. Come back and see me. Keep your eyes to the sky. There's a lot going on out there. I'm going to see you next time. Jay-Z out.
Somebody told me when I came to Nashville, son, you finally got it made.